శోచనీయమైనటువంటి విషయం. ఈరోజు ఉదయం నుంచి నేను డీజీపీ గారితో సహా పోలీస్ అధికారులందరితో కూడా మాట్లాడాను. కేవలం 1400 కేసులు, మిస్సింగ్ కేసులు ఇవాళ రాష్ట్రంలో ఇన్వెస్టిగేషన్ జరుగుతున్నటువంటివి. అందులో కూడా విజయవాడ పోలీసు కమిషనరేట్ ఉదాహరణగా తీసుకుంటే 96% తిరిగి ఇళ్లకి మిస్ అయినటువంటి మహిళలను అప్పజెప్పినటువంటిది.
That's the first part, like I said. The second part of the story has to do with YSRCP feeling kind of nervous about Pawan Kalyan's yatra. The reason? But of course, he's a big star. But you know, more importantly, his impact on areas like East and West Godavari, where the caste he belongs to, Kapu, is a dominant one. We have graphics now, which is on your screen, to understand those who do not, perhaps, to understand the kind of influence that the Kapu caste has in Andhra Pradesh. Moreover, if the Janasena party, which is Pawan Kalyan Garu's party, inks the deal with the TDP, then the Kapu vote may just be in their bag. Now, in all this, the YSRCP is working on what is called its Kapu strategy to see how it can actually mitigate the so-called damage, and is wooing one of the tallest Kapu leaders in the region, Mudragada Padmanabham. Even as Pawan, you know, they exchanged very, very sharp words. Pawan Kalyan, I beg your pardon, alleged he had built his career being a Kapu. Padmanabham reacted sharply and dared the actor politician to come face him in 2024. So in all this, you know what, the party and the man who are taking political advantage of the situation, and rightfully so, politics is about doing the right thing at the right time, it is Jagan Garu and YSRCP. So do you think that is this a new kind of shift in Andhra Pradesh politics? Because earlier you had YSRCP and Telugu Desam party, but now things seem to be moving. Or do you think it is just a flash in the pan? The power star will come, he will speak, then he will go away, because we remember, all of us remember who know Pawan Kalyan's politics, that last elections he really could not make a major impact. Let's start the debate. Joining us on the debate is Satya Bulisetti, who is General Secretary of the Janasena Party, Narayan Murthy, who is spokesperson of the YSRCP, A. Sai Shekhar, who is a senior journalist and political analyst, and PVS Murali, who is also a political analyst. A very warm welcome to all of you. I'll first start with Satya Garu. Satya Garu, tell me something. This is a very serious allegation, and now the Women's Commission, they have said that, you know, Pawan Kalyan Garu has to give proof. Now all we know is that he says that, you know, the central agencies, or he has sources in the central dispensation, as it were. Would you like to elaborate on this? Because you know what, this is about, ultimately I know all of you will be one, because this is about the women of Andhra Pradesh. Satya Garu.
Yes. Sudha Sadanand, good evening, and nice to again join back on the debate with
Such
you.
a pleasure.
And actually, the part one, what you said is missing women are actually above 18, 22,278 in the last 3 years, means not excluding last year still, up to 2021. And above below 18 is 7,000. Total put together is 29,279. This is the information given to the House. And based on the inputs from NCRB and other agencies. And the most important thing is, of which about 18,000 have been recovered, that's what they say. But we are yet to examine the facts. But the fact remains is thousands, more than 7,000, 6,000. According to us, it's about 11,000 women are still missing, untraced in the last 3 years. And whereas the other record says that some more 5 more thousand have been recovered, and only 6 or 7 are pending, 7,000 are pending. 1,000 women are a big number. It's not just a few thousands, or even one lady brought the act of Nirbhaya to this country. And the state government says that they have Trisha in place and all these things in place. And why our crime rate is, our missing women rate is much higher than even that of Telangana, because that is a bigger hub, you know, big hub. Many people come from other states to work there, and some crime can happen. And what I would like to mention two things. You know, part one is the missing women story. So far, this lady called Vasireddy Padma, who is supposed to be the chairman of the Women Commission of the AP, but she works as YSRCP custodian and work for them. And recently, there is a big uproar from other women from various other political parties because she conducted exclusive YCP women's meeting in this place. That is one. And she gave such a small letter. Actually, I'd like to show you, if you look at it, this is the notice she has given. See, this is that's all. This is the small notice that she has given, saying that you mentioned in your meeting that women are responsible for missing, women trafficking, and our women are very much depressed, oppressed, and all. But what actually Mr. Pawan Kalyan said is, Pawan Kalyan scolded, literally said, I will not give any more respect to the Chief Minister because you are not doing your job. I'll call you as Jagan. Instead of Honorable Chief Minister Jagan, I'll call you as Jagan because you're not doing your duty. That to sideline that, because he raised 10 issues raised by the CAG, the Controller and Auditor General of Accounts.
Right.
They said 1,18,000 you have borrowed without the permission, and 4,000 you have not spent for the roads. And like that, so many irregularities are there. He raised main allegation is that.
Right.
In that, he said there is women missing, and in the women missing, the data which you are collecting through your private army, the team, which is illegal. Actually, we have a Panchayat Raj Act and we have Panchayat, the Panchayat Sarpanch and all.
Right.
But parallel to that, they started volunteers and taken up all right. Right from the Panchayat.
It's a very serious allegation, and let me tell you, Satya Garu, that Andhra Pradesh has always not had a very good record so far as women trafficking is concerned. If I remember right, the NCRB statistics shows it as number 2, at least in South Indian states, and this is a very serious allegation, but of course it's been refuted. So I will now go to Mr. Narayana Murthy. Mr. Narayana Murthy, spokesperson for YSRCP. Sir, would you like to now, because I'm giving this more time, sir, because it involves the women of Andhra Pradesh. Would you like to respond to what Satya Garu just said? He said we have statistics, we have proof, where have all the women gone? Whereas, the Women's Commission chief has said 10 days, give us proof.
Good evening, everyone. Let us talk about NCRB report. What is NCRB study? Maharashtra is having 37,273 people missing cases, and Madhya Pradesh 35,000 hard, and you take Chhattisgarh 12,000 and 17,000 Tamil Nadu in the South India. Tamil Nadu having 17,000 missing cases and Telangana having 13,000 missing cases, and West Bengal 30,000. So across country, Andhra Pradesh is standing at 11th place in the missing cases. And the recovery cases, recovery rate, recovery rank, we are standing second. And voluntary system is there in Andhra Pradesh, first of our kind in India, not only in India, in the entire world. Now, Pawan Kalyan, without having any knowledge on the system, without having any proofs, without knowledge of NCRB records, he spoke. He doesn't know this.
Narayan Murthy Garu, can I request you not to use strong words like illiterate and all that? We are all of us are. We are the South Indians, sir. Sir, we are the South Indians. We are decent, sir. Let's keep that decency. After all, he's a fellow.
Even women volunteers, more than 50% of the volunteers are women. Women in Andhra Pradesh. Is it not shame on his part?
Right.
As a party president, does he have any idea about the women culture?
Yeah, because I said it's very serious. You're right. To say that the volunteers are passing on, yeah, you're right, because he also said that the volunteers are passing on information which is being used by antisocial elements in a wrong way. So yes, but then he did not, the volunteers could have been men also, no, to call him it. I mean, all I'm saying is, let's keep this show is about smiling at each other and discussing
50% of the 50% of the volunteers are having women, more than 50%. Women,
All right.
our
Yeah.
sisters,
Okay.
our mother.
Yeah, our mothers. So
Why,
am
why
I.
he use this
Yeah,
without
okay.
having any knowledge?
Yeah, sure.
Without any understanding
A
of the
Sai
system
Shekhar, I'll
of the
come back.
Andhra Pradesh?
Yeah, you're right, Mr. Narayan Murthy, and you're
Is it
absolutely
right?
right in being so passionate about it. A Sai Shekhar, Sai, I want to ask you that it is a very serious allegation which has been traded between, Pawan Kalyan Garu, and now, the Women's Commission has also reacted to it. But the point is not so much about politics, but one has to go into it and see if these numbers really match up Sai Shekhar. Forget he was in Eluru. Forget that he was, on a Varahi Yatra. What do you make of this?
I really don't know, because this phenomenon of women missing is alarming and unfortunate, and it's not unique to Andhra Pradesh. And I was also going through the NCRB records, and Andhra Pradesh ranked in the 11th position in terms of missing women. And I don't know why Pawan Kalyan has suddenly talked about intelligence giving him a report. In 35 years, no intelligence department, either from the state or the center, even for planting purpose, shared one report with me. Though I have enormous contacts with the police in undivided Andhra Pradesh, and now in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, and also I have sufficient contacts in the center, but nobody shares that kind of an information with a political party who has never been elected, and or a journalist or someone. No, I don't think his claim of intelligence department has shared it with him is right. Number one, and this volunteer system, which has been delivering the government programs to the doorstep of common man, has been lauded even by the center. And several union ministers also have waxed eloquent about this particular program that was introduced in Andhra Pradesh. Irrespective of the political parties, this is a new initiative. And they were accused of, indulging in human trafficking. And the large number of missing of women was attributed to them, and they were accused of ensuring that they were exported or transported outside.
So I don't think it was done for politics. Was it just because the way you are saying, first of all, intel reports are not shared. Absolutely right. Secondly, you said, where did he get this information from? So are you saying that he just shot off, just said something? Because I don't think, because I think the way Satya Garu spoke, they must have had enough homework, in place. So
No, let Mr. Satya has spoken from the NCRB records. Okay, and Mr. Narayan Murthy also has quoted the same NCRB records. Okay, and nobody, even Mr. Satya did not say that we have got an intelligence report and all. And Pawan Kalyan per se is not as balanced as Mr. Satya is. When he is speaking, he keeps on changing his stance 360 degrees every day. One day he says he wants to be the chief minister and he should be voted for. And one day he says, I am not eligible for being the chief minister. And why will anybody vote if our own party people do not go for a campaign? And very incoherent statements he keeps on coming up with. So, and one day he says he will...
such an actor. He is, of course, extremely good on the screen. It could be that, but people stood there and heard him out. But you're right. That's your opinion, Sai. I'll come back to you. PVS Murali, I'm just doing the first leg of the story, and that being this whole women trafficking business, which is very, very serious. Now, Sai Shekhar adds one more, layer to it and says both, Satya Garu as well as Narayan Murthy Garu, they have only spoken about NCRB statistic. Now, don't you think that when a politician or a senior person like Pawan Kalyan, who has a following, raises such an issue, it has a lot of seriousness to it. You can't just shoot and scoot, no?
Absolutely. Let me put it this way, that, he would have done his homework. He knows in the aftermath of the kind of a defamation cases that has been in vogue in the country, one would be very careful in what he's talking. And the point too is that NCRB numbers are not fictitious numbers. They're there in the public domain. So I don't think anybody talking on the NCRB numbers is perfectly valid. And the point 3 is that I'm not too sure about the whole process of the volunteer organization, what's the kind of the legality it has got, and whether it would stand in the courts of law. But then that's a different topic altogether. But then the point, it is that as I have been seeing, watching the comments of the all other 3 elite speakers, I can say one thing, that let's not look at in a relative terms, that it's 11th place or it's the 2nd place or it's the 3rd place. At the end of the day, the bottom line is, are they the missing numbers? Are they
exactly. I totally
women
agree.
who are not there?
Yeah, I totally agree.
Missing?
Where are the missing women? If there are women who are missing, I mean, I think you are right, Murali. I mean, we need to step aside from politics, and I really don't agree with politics being done on this. This is a very, very serious kind of an allegation, and you are right. One does not know the veracity of the volunteers, misusing the information. But if the missing women in Andhra Pradesh is a genuine story, as now raised by everyone, has the right to raise it. Why Pawan Kalyan Garu? Murali, you can raise it. I can raise it tomorrow. Yes, maybe I'll be heard less. Maybe you all will be heard more. But it should be raised, and he's absolutely right. And one should really go. I don't understand the politics of, oh, you show me proof. I mean, why should Pawan Kalyan show proof in the first place? Satya Garu, I'm going to come to you. What is this showing proof? I mean, after all, you are not an investigating agency. You've made a claim. Now, they should just check the veracity of it and go forward, I think. I mean, that's what I look at a story like. Also, Satya Garu, I want to ask you about the whole volunteers angle. Then I will go to part 2 of the story. I mean, this whole volunteers misusing information. Where did you get that from?
See, actually what's happening is the volunteer system itself is anti-constitutional. You have no right to involve and indulge in sending a person who is actually, somebody is knocking at your door. You should have an authority from the government, whether he should be an inspector, even inspector with a warrant, it should come. But here, somebody is knocking at your door every day, and every 50 houses, one guard. That man is asking the information like, do you have any people indulged with sexual abuse, or do you have more when people are staying with a man or women, or any cases are pending, or anybody in love with somebody? This kind of information being gathered by the volunteers.
No, but and sir, the village volunteer system has been there in place. It's one of the flagship. No. It have rescued a lot of people, women also, sir. One has one has done stories on this, Satya Garu.
No. Sudhaji, let me tell you, thing is, the volunteers are paid at 5,000 rupees, number one, and then they've been recruited. I'll give you a voice clip also of the minister who said, all these volunteers are our party workers. If anybody is not listening, we'll throw them out. And none of these volunteers are paid directly. They're paid through a private agency. And they're summoned to work for a political party. And a person working for a political party taking the taxpayers' money is a crime, and which is actually unconstitutional. Somebody is coming and knocking at your door every day, thinking that you may think that initially they are helping, but they are getting the information.
Right.
Where this information is stored, where this information is going.
Right.
The information is going. Data security in future. The government of India is also taking it seriously. Data security, these young boys are collecting a lot of information and passing on to the next level. Where and how it is stored, we don't know.
I'm going to give Mr. Narayan Murthy a chance to retort, and then I'm going to come back to you, Satya Garu, because we have to go to the second part of the story. Narayan Murthy Garu, would you like to, this whole village volunteer system, it's been in place. According to Satya Garu, these are paid, this is private agency, it's paid, but there is a lot of bhagidari system everywhere, in a lot of states. I mean, it's not essential that every government has to employ these people. He says they do this vigilante policing, moral policing, they ask you who are you living with, who's this guy, etc., etc. So basically, he's trying to paint a picture as if these volunteers are not doing always. He's not saying every time. He said a lot of times they are acting like the police. Narayan Murthy Garu. Mr. Narayan Murthy, I think we've lost contact. We'll get him back. Satya Garu, I'm going to come to you. Satya Garu, what is the mystery now?
I got it now.
Yeah.
Yes, I got it. Now, I would like to ask you one question. The same volunteers are our brothers and sisters, and they are from the same place, same street. What is your problem? They are voluntarily coming forward to work and serve for the people where they are staying in the same place, same street.
Yeah, why not?
Whatever 50 houses or 100 houses. Villages, 50 houses, and
right.
cities, 100 houses, because density is more.
Okay.
Now, what is the problem with volunteers? Why you are pointing out only volunteers? For example, you are collecting email address, phone numbers, address, everything for your membership of the party. Are you doing trafficking of all women we are taking, from where you are taking for the details in the villages and cities? Can you accept it?
Right.
Are you doing that?
Yeah. But let's,
the
second part is more, yeah, Narayan Murthy Garu, the second part that I'm going to start now, sir, is going to be more political. This is about women, and I think we should, instead of trading charges, like Sai Shekhar said, we really, unlike Murali said, we have to really investigate what is the truth. Let me go to Satya Garu. Satya Garu, what is this mystery about the Janasena party, sir? Are you going with the TDP and the BJP, or you're not? I read a report recently that no, we will go alone, or rather that, we are not going to really reveal who we are going with. Now, this entire smoke screen that you create, it's almost like you are playing the waiting game, Satya Garu.
See, first of all, I must answer two questions raised by my friend Murthy. He said when there is somebody is employed for 50 houses, one guard is employed, what is wrong? But I wanted you to listen to one minister of TDP, what he said. This is very important. This is only 1 minute. See, this man says this volunteer is nothing but is our own party workers. If anybody is not working for the party, then that fellow will be removed. That means these volunteers are not working as a panchayat employees or government employees. They are working as a party employees.
Right.
And
I've
who
heard
is
that.
being paid?
Yeah.
Where is paid? That's one thing.
You
Second
are
thing,
correcting
as he said,
all details of the people.
1 minute.
Men,
Gentleman
women,
is
years,
collecting the
and phone number, address, and
phone
email.
numbers. One second,
What are you
one
doing
second,
with that
Narayan Murthy.
details? Are you doing
I'm not
women
raising
trafficking
voice when you talk. Please wait.
with
Please wait.
female
Please.
addresses and
Please
details?
wait.
Do you accept
Please
it or
wait.
not? No,
Please
do
wait.
you accept it or not?
Sir,
You are
I'm
collecting email address,
running out
phone
of
number,
time. You
Because-
both can please, sir.
Isn't
I
it?
mean, I just want to go to the next part. I want to ask Satya Garu. Satya Garu, please. I want to know what is the forward plan. 2024 is knocking at the door. You have 2 elections coming up. But so far, although you are seen flirting with TDP, you are seen kind of reaching out to the BJP, but you are not really coming out in the open to say who are you going with. Will the mystery be solved or not?
See, the alliances with any political party will happen just before the elections, not well in advance. Number one, our tie-up is with BJP. That is after post-elections 2019.
All
so
right.
that will continue. We have no issues with BJP. With as far as TDP is concerned, it is YCP is always telling we are going with TDP. We never said that we are going with TDP. Number one. Number two is Varahi Vijay Yatra. Pawan Kalyan has started to know what is his mass and what is his base. After that, we'll discuss. There is no hurry for us to say with whom we are going. We are going alone, or we are sure of going with BJP. Whether anybody is going to join or not, it's a different thing. But today, people of Andhra
But
Pradesh
what do you
are
do
very,
if
very
TDP,
clear.
if what do you do if Mr. Babu, he shakes hands with the BJP? What do you do? Then
That
the
is, that is, Sudha, that is their headache, their interest. How can I say that you don't talk to somebody, you don't discuss with somebody? I can't say that, number one. Number two is, we wanted to form the government. Pawan Kalyan said very clear that other person, Sai says, Pawan Kalyan is never clear. But let me make it clear. Pawan Kalyan is always clear. He is not clear for people because Pawan Kalyan is not a politician.
Right,
He's
let's
come
move.
here to
Yeah.
reform the politics.
Right.
No, to bring reforms in politics. He
Sir,
wants to bring clean
sir,
politics.
I
He
know.
wants to bring more
Yeah.
accountability.
Sir, Narayanamurthy sir, please tell me something. Now there are reports that because Pawan Kalyan's Varahi Yatra in East and West Godavari districts, it's that you're trying to woo back a very, very tall leader who's a Kapu leader, Padmanabham. There are who said goodbye to politics in 2004. Somehow, I think Pawan Kalyan is trying to present a challenge to you. Is that right or wrong?
Madam, see, our party is very strong from the base in Andhra Pradesh because we won election 2019 such a way 151 seats and 51% of the votes.
Right.
So we don't rely on any one person or one area or one section. We are working for all castes, all.
Are you
religions,
saying no to
all.
Padmanabham? Are you saying that you are not
It's
talking
not
to
that.
Padmanabham Garu?
We cannot decide it. You see, this is
No.
all.
So that's what you are not saying. No, no.
Not the decision of
Sir.
my hand or somebody.
Sir, you are
It
not
is
saying
in
no.
the hands
No,
of
all your leaders have
president
been
of
sent.
party.
Sir, all your leaders have been sending him feelers. Sai Shekhar, tell me something. Do you think that the YSRCP and Jagan Reddy's party, they are now feeling slightly challenged because, the Kapu vote in East, and you know the politics much better than a lot of people, you and Murali, of course. So I'm asking you, now they are sending feelers to Padmanabham Garu. The thing is, it's very clear because Padmanabham Garu and Pawan Kalyan Garu, they had a kind of, exchange of serious words, that I will see who you are. Then, the senior person saying that then let's meet in 2024. It's an open challenge that Padmanabham has given to Pawan Kalyan Garu. Do you think that YSRCP jumps into this entire, you're fighting you, that I will take advantage, sending out feelers to get him on their side? Do you think that's a scenario which is quite plausible, Sai Shekhar?
I have a doubt with regard to this kind of a question because Mr. Padmanabham is, quite unpredictable, and he has never caught out to the political lines of any party. He has his own style of functioning. Even when he was minister, he just like that walked out of N.T. Ramarao's residence and left for his village. So he is very unpredictable person, and also I would like to tell you, Padmanabham is actually unbiable. He's not, as far as I know, he's not corrupt, and he speaks from the heart. Whether he's speaking right or wrong is debatable, but then he doesn't toe the line of any political party. And if YSRCP is claiming that they are sponsoring what Mr. Padmanabham is saying, that they are foolish, and if anybody else is alleging that YSRCP is actually managing Mr. Padmanabham to make these statements, that is also foolish.
So tell me something, Sai
talks on his
Shekhar.
own.
The Kapu community is very, very influential because 24.7%, the last statistics we all read, and of course it has 38 constituencies with 175 in the state which are dominated by the Kapus. So this is a very important, and they have a strong caste loyalty as it's playing out on the screen right now. So don't you think it is
I'll tell you, Sudha, I want to tell you something. The most wisest community is Kapu community in any electoral politics, and they have never made a wrong decision. And they rallied behind whoever is going to do the benefit for the state at large. They are not selfish, and they have actually the contribution of that community to the building of the society is enormous, and we cannot confine them to caste politics, number one. And only leaders are playing caste politics. I am not sure whether people would, in general, would, fall in line with the designs of the politicians. But Kapu community has always exercised their franchise in a very, very wise manner.
Is that why
And,
you think that Pawan Kalyan Garu lost the elections last time? I mean, his own when he fought the elections.
Madam, Pawan Kalyan losing elections, he's not a politician, he's inconsistent and he is incoherent in his statements. And first time in 2009 when he campaigned for his brother, he spoke in the same manner. He was trying to, I'll pull your punch out and all. He was talking about Dr. Rajasekhar Reddy, and he got what he has to get, number one. And then in 2014, he was playing second fiddle to TDP and BJP combined. He did not have any candidate in place. And in 2019, he tested the waters on his own. And even there also, there is an allegation that, just now you said, Padmanabham's utterances are sponsored by YSRCP. In 2019, Telugu Desam thought the anti-incumbency vote would split among people. So Pawan Kalyan's independent contest would also help them, but that did not help. It proved to be counterproductive. So Pawan Kalyan, I don't think, he is yet to win one election and show to the people.
No, but you never know.
We will see.
But you never know, Sai Shekhar. Politics is very unpredictable.
True. Agree.
Yeah, you never know. Don't ever. We cannot, because this man already has a following, and you know states. Look at Karnataka. I say everyone went to saying that BJP. But look at this.
No.
Karnataka threw up results and everyone was shocked. PVS Murali, my whole story, I'm saying YSRCP is now entering this entire conundrum, as it were, and saying that so far we did not take Mr. Pawan Kalyan seriously, but now is the time we need to have someone who can give Pawan Kalyan a run for his money, owing to his, of course, personality, owing to number two, the caste that he belongs to. Do you think there is a serious reason that YSRCP could as well do it? And when it does it, there is a shift in Andhra Pradesh politics, because we've heard Sai, we've heard several others saying, not Satya Garu, that Pawan Kalyan is just a flash on the pan, as it were.
Yeah. To my mind, it's not the question. YCP would not be really worried about Janasena party per se, but then the combined unit of TDP, Janasena and BJP, that would pose a kind of a threat, because at the end of the day, there would be a bipolar contest.
Right.
Now, that would be a serious concern for YSRCP, and but otherwise, standalone Janasena should not really matter much for YSRCP, because in any case, if Janasena thinks that it would more rely on the Kapus votes, that's kind of a myth, because at the end of the day, what happens is, although the Kamas are a little in percentage wise lower than the Kapus in Andhra, the caste politics where Kapus would not vote en masse to Janasena, because had they if they do that, Pawan Kalyan should have won many more seats earlier on. So that's not the case. There would be a split in the Kapu community, where they would go which side of the bread is buttered, and they would do vote accordingly.
Yeah.
But then the point is here, the combined opposition would certainly be a force to reckon with.
Very well said. In any politics. Satya Garu, tell me something. I'm coming to you, giving all of you a chance to kind of, for rebuttal and responses here. Satya Garu, tell me something. This whole exchange of words that Pawan Kalyan Garu had with someone who's as senior as Padmanabham. Look at the reputation. He's not corrupt. He's someone who keeps away from politics. He's more of a community leader. What do you make of it? Some experts are reading it as if he wants the Kapus to feel that they have been taken advantage of all these years, and their issues should actually now been highlighted by the right person at the right time. What was the intent? I'm asking you.
See, actually, Sudhaji, this particular case of Padmanabham is, it's not directly connected with community now, because what has happened is, when recently Mr. Pawan Kalyan went to his constituency, and he has taken head-on with a person called Chandrasekhar Reddy, Dwarampudi Chandrasekhar Reddy, who is an MLA there. And when he scolded the MLA that you are a mafia don and you are doing all illegal things, illegal mining, this, that, and all, running gambling houses and all, and I will not allow your empire to continue. When he said that, then Mudragada Padmanabham has released a letter supporting Dwarampudi Chandrasekhar Reddy and opposing Pawan Kalyan. You should not do like this because he is the one who is funded for Kapu community movement. And we have eaten his upma and we have taken his trucks, which is not known to the whole world of Kapus for the last 30 years. Everybody is thinking that he is doing it.
Yeah.
And that is how it is like a sort of a suicide note from his side, saying that I have been funded by Reddy's to run Kapu community movement. That's why this movement was never successful. Why this movement is never successful? Because we could not get any reservation. Galvanizing the community did. There is no doubt about it. I fully agree.
I'm running out of time, and my apologies to all of you for hurrying you up. Narayan Murthy Garu, would you like to retort to what he said, quickly, to what Satya Garu said, that actually that exchange was not meant for Padmanabham Garu at all. There was a letter, etc., etc. Would you agree that that happened? But more importantly, Mr. Narayan Murthy, I want you to answer that. Are you saying that you are not in talks with Padmanabham Garu at all? That, like you said, you already have enough and more strong leaders in Andhra Pradesh so far as Kapus go. Please unmute yourself, sir. Sir, you have to unmute yourself, sir.
AP, yes, yes.
Thank you.
YSR Congress Party has a lot of leadership from the Kapu community, not only Nani Garu, but also many leaders from each and every district. And also, we don't really need, but no, see, taking people in the party is different. Like, that's only in the hands of our president and Honorable CM Jagan Reddy Garu. Of course, he can take anyone for the purpose of the community development or that's a similar area development, whatever they were like now. But now, really, Kapu communities with in Andhra Pradesh, Kapu community especially with YSR Congress Party, because Jagan Garu is doing many things to the Kapu.
No, but according to Sai Shekhar, my friend, who's a fellow journalist, he said Kapus are very intelligent. They only kind of go towards those who do something, who are good candidates.
That is the reason they like only YSR Congress Party, because
Sai Shekhar, is that right? Sai, come in here, Sai. Do you think that is right? That they are with Jagan Garu?
If the winds are blowing in my favor, I would say that they are in favor of me. If the winds are blowing against me, I would say they are not in favor of me. So, it's a tricky question and also a tricky situation, and politicians are ready to change their stance the way the outcome is. So I wouldn't say they are solidly backing one community, one political party or anything like that. They are very wise voters. They have proved it time and again.
Right, they are very wise voters. Murali, I'm going to give you, I've got 2 minutes left and I'm going to give you the last word. Do you think that, that the winds are blowing, as it were, towards Jagan? Because if that happens, then I guess Pawan Kalyan Garu would have to work much, much harder.
See, let's put it statistically. If 25%, nearly 25% is Kapus, and let's say another 10% Kamas, so that makes 35%. And then you have the BJP, which probably get another 10%. So which means it's about 45%. So it's a 45-55. So which means at the end of the day, my gut feel is that it would be a very touch and go if there is a combined opposition and it's a bipolar. And if that doesn't happen, it's a clear win for YSRCP. There's no question. But if there is a combined opposition, then there would be a touch and go where there would be a strong opposition. Whoever it is who forms the government next, they would have a formidable opposition than what it is now.
All right, I've completely run out of time, but my thanks are due for such a riveting conversation. Satya Bolisetti, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Narayan Murthy Garu, thank you so much, Sai. It was such a pleasure as always. And thank you so much, Murali. It was really lovely speaking with all of you. So that's the story today from the south of India. But you know what, in this story, you see, I mean, let me turn around. Why am I looking at? Yeah, this is Jagan Garu and that is Pawan Kalyan Garu. But in all this, the mainstay of the story is that if there are really missing women in Andhra Pradesh, we need to find those women. After all, we are the South Indians and we are very proud of the statistics so far as crime against women is concerned in our part of the world, that is south of India. So let's find all these missing women sooner rather than later. Thanks so much for watching. Every weekday at 5 o'clock, I shall be with you bringing you news from the south of India. This is your destination as always on News 9 Live. Keep watching. Vanakkam.
मैं इमरान अहमद खान नियाजी सबके दिल से हल्फ उठाता हूँ.
When Imran Khan came initially into politics, he thought his personal popularity would be sufficient for him. It didn't happen.
The retired military generals are openly saying that Imran Khan is a better choice.